Hey, what's going on out there? Not much, eh? So that's just how it is right now. And I'll try to not be too low or too down, etc. But basically, the energy, the vibe, whatever you want to call it, it is so low. Now, I know that there are some people, some select people out there that are just woohoo, but not very many, I'll tell you that. Not many at all. Business is so slow. Seldom have I seen it this slow. July is not generally very busy because it's hot. But I know that this astrology stuff has affected people big time, and it continues to. And I know that everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. And so I'm just going to have to accept that. And things are kind of okay here, you know. A few things that were in a havoc state of being have smoothed out. And so I've just been trying to go with that. And I don't have a lot of food left in the fridge, so I've got to go and buy more soon. Trying to hold out until Sunday so that I can go to the co-op. Because I want to go to the dance on Sunday. But I haven't been watching the news hardly at all. I've really been trying hard to stay away from it. Mostly just because I'm burned out on it. I'm sure that a lot of you are also the same. And I don't imagine that very many people will watch this video. Maybe over time, 1 or 200 people will watch the video. But that's all right. That's enough to do one. So I've been mixing up a toxin absorbing food, and I'll tell you what it is. It's a combination of several foods. Ground flax seed, coconut butter, and sorghum syrup for sweetening. And the flaxseed gives it bulk and helps with peristalsis. And the coconut oil absorbs toxins, and the acid in the coconut oil kills bacteria. And the sorghum syrup makes it taste good. Additionally, today I added green powder to it and eggshell calcium. And then I ate some prunes as well, and that makes the bowels move. And the theory or there is proof also that these are good for a prebiotic, as in the flax, bowel movements, as in the other two things, the flax and the uh, prunes. And the coconut is heavy and absorbs toxins. And when you mix the coconut with the flax, it holds them in. And so I've been feeling decent, and I'm mostly just being affected by all of this crazy energy of the world. And I'm trying not to watch the astrologers talk about it too much too, because if I do that, it can get depressing. You can feel as though you're at the end of your rope, But all of this is just going to have to play itself out. That's all. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding depressing. We're just going to have to get through this, and that's all there is to it, It's a good time to buy a pillow from me. I'll fill it and ship it within 30 minutes. That's how slow it is. Usually I've got 5, 6, 10 orders. A lot of orders. And so I just keep saying to myself, well, roll with it, baby. As Steve Winwood once said. And my health keeps getting better. I just keep pooping out more and more toxins. And sometimes I make funny songs about it. I've been listening to a lot of cool old music, the stuff that I grew up with lately, instead of watching the news. And that may be just temporary, probably, because I'm just using it as a substitute. You find an adequate substitute. It's not all particularly progressive, but man, there's just something about some good old Simon and Garfunkel tunes. Some America. Yesterday I turned on some America, Horse with No Name and stuff like that. They had some great, great music. I listened to Bob Dylan's greatest hits while doing some sewing. And I've been enjoying my new old sewing machine a lot. And I've been encouraged by various signs to be more vegan. Yeah. It's getting there. The more I can absorb those toxins by doing that food combo I just described to you. If you're just joining us, you could go back and listen again. But the more I'm not being pressured by toxins in my blood, the more I can push other things in my healing, like meditation or veganism, all these things. Quieting the mind with meditation, quieting everything with not eating acidy, aggressive foods like fish or buffalo or eggs. So eating less of all of those things. I'm eating quite a bit of vegan. And then also eating less bread, mucus forming. If I get eating too much bread, I'll get too much mucus. And you're laying on your back and you can just feel it drizzling down your throat. So I know that's all really exciting. I'll try and be comedic about this because you gotta be funny when things aren't so funny. You know what I mean, honey? Sometimes I look at my face and I think, I look like a clown. You know, I look Leo-ish, comedian-ish. I think maybe I'll be a comedian or a musician in my next life. But I don't know that I really want to be that famous. I'll tell you a story about this comedian that we used to go see when I was in my early 20s. There was this guy named Ralph Malph. And he used to frequent this bar my dad got into in San Diego on like Claremont Mesa Boulevard. And he was this dirty comedian, but he was really funny. But he did a lot of fart jokes, you know? I think he's still alive. I don't know. He might still be alive. Ralph Malph. He had a website and he would frequent the various bars and comedy clubs in Southern California. Don't ask me how that came up. I was just thinking about comedy, I guess. But my dad he really got into Ralph Malph. You know, how you can get into something, someone. I don't know how, I've told you this before, but I don't know how my dad went to bars for so many years and never got a DUI. Easy. One reason, though, was because the bars generally were close to where we lived. But he was living at them at least every other night. There were so many questions about that whole thing. How did he end up doing this? How did he do that? And for a long time, I was, you know, in denial, I guess, about a lot of things with my father. And so I guess that's why I had to go to Al Anon for 4 years. Eventually, I got kind of tired of that, though. Friends and family of alcoholics meetings. You know. Today, as I was walking around the field that I like to go to, you know, I was thinking, I also have been walking the dog, you know, the golden retriever next door. I was thinking about various things from the past, including my family, you know. And oftentimes I think to myself, will I go back to Utah to my mom's funeral? Because she's 81 now, okay? And the answer is no. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have feelings and love for my mom and my whole family. It means that I don't want to put myself through all of that. I was thinking to myself, instead of walking around this beautiful field here in the North Carolina mountains that I'm walking around right now, what if I were walking on the bench, they call it, above Ogden, Utah, and looking down upon thousands and thousands of houses? Instead of this small mountain North Carolina town that I live in. It's a nice hike. And it's kind of above the smog, the fumes, because the higher you get in elevation. Wow, someone is sending so many hearts. Thank you. Thank you. Some chat comments would be cool. At least a hi or something. But anyways, I was thinking that no, I don't know that I ever want to go back to Utah again. Maybe my mind will change someday. The thought that I mostly think about when I think about Utah is that I want to do the exact opposite of going to a high desert region. I want to move, maybe, hopefully, we'll see, to a place where there are other people that eat and live more similar to me, a more progressed region of the world. How long have I thought about this thought? A long ass time. You know what I mean? like some nice beach or mountain place where there are people, progressive, cool people. Hawaii? I don't know. Too many negatives. I mean, possibly. I've not been there. I've not been anywhere, really, everyone. But with the internet, you can see and you can ask questions and you can get a really good idea of what it's like, how much it costs, the availability of things. It's not good there. And I ship products there all the time, mostly pillows. And so I know how much it costs to ship things to Hawaii and Alaska. Those two states has to go by boat. Otherwise, you can choose priority mail and it costs a lot more because it's got to fly over the ocean. And yes, if it's going to Alaska, it doesn't go through Canada on land. It goes onto a boat in Seattle, and then it goes up the ocean to Anchorage. And so pros and cons, and it's okay to think about these things. But it seems as though I've been thinking about them for a long, long time. Lately, I've been thinking about going up to Tennessee and checking out some areas. And I think I'm going to do that soon. I've been thinking about living in a less mountainous place, not quite as mountainy as here. And the reason is because when you live in a place where they've had to use heavy equipment to create all the houses, and when you live in a place where it's so mountainous that there's a lot of radon in the soil, thank God we don't get any of that in this apartment complex because the foundation is a slab, a cement slab. Okay, there's no basements in these apartments, obviously. But that problem and other problems can be very bad for people in this county that live really unnaturally. And I say that because the houses that have been here for a long time, 50 or more years, are in the lower, flatter regions. But the cool houses, the wealthy houses, the ones clear the hell up there, right? And then there's this resorty thing where it's a closed, gated community up there. And And I know someone that lives up there. And the last time I saw her at the coffee shop, she said that the winter almost killed her. Okay, so these people, they have money and they buy these houses clear up on the mountain. And they don't realize that the vibe, especially in the winter time, okay, so anything really extreme, they don't know how bad it is. And if they're planning on coming up here and just living for the summer, that's fine. And I know someone, like I had talked to you about before, he owns that cabin way at the top of the mountain over there by the golf course. And he built it in the 70s. And he comes up here from Orlando and stays in it sometimes. But you practically got to have a four-wheel drive, and how my Corolla got up there, it could get up there better now that I have a new motor. But, and when I went up there, when I first, 7 years ago, just about almost 7 years ago, when I moved out of the cabin, put all my stuff in storage, and I was living in my car because I couldn't find a place to live. Remember that? Me and Chakra. And Chakra was old. That was a hard time of my life. Hard. But anyways, that guy doesn't, nobody is going to live in that cabin in the wintertime. No. Somebody might have a four-wheel drive and go up there and Airbnb that. I believe he still does that for a few days. Man, you would die of isolation up there. And anyways, so I've been thinking about living in not too flat of a place like Kansas or something like that, you know. But some hilly, flattier places like in Tennessee, just north of here, might be cool. And there is somewhat of a holistic crowd just kind of getting going there. To what degree? I'd like to find out. Inquiring mind wants to know. So soon I think I'm going to do that, especially since it's so slow right now. So what else was I thinking today? This year, I started out with taking some 2-week vacations back in January, and I believe last December, because I was still really busy. And so that's what I was planning on doing this year, because I was like, I need a lot of rest and relaxation this year. Now I don't have to take any vacations because the craziness has just made people not buy. That's how it is right now. I sent out an email today to 2,000 subscribers. I'll send some more tomorrow. And that's the max I can send using the Google platform thing. And guess what came back? I sent 2,000 emails out. I didn't get one, even a reply. Nothing. At least I didn't get anyone unsubscribe. Nobody's, because they know that I seldom have to send out or seldom need to anymore for a couple of years. Send out any emails because I'm so busy. I haven't done any sales because I don't need to. I don't want to. I don't make much money anyway. my prices are already the best for Millet Hole pillows. And so why should I? Today, I'm like, well, I'm just going to send out an email and see what happens the day after the full moon. Nothing. Not one reply, nothing. People are so wiped out. And I'm wiped out. I went over and I did about 6 rounds around the field. And I tried to go different ways so I get the sun on my body both ways. So I did clockwise for a while. I did counterclockwise for a while. I might have done 8 rounds. There was one other person there anyway. Usually I'm just there by myself. But other than a little bit of traffic here on like Thursday, Friday, Saturday here in town, the town is dead. Deader than a doornail. And we usually have in the summer a lot more, like at least 2 or 2.5, 3 times more people coming into this town. Motorcycles, car clubs, just regular, mostly older people, tourists. So the beer and pizza place down the street that has a stage that I've shown you, and I've shown you some of the bands, they were having in past years, the last couple of years, 2, 3 years that that's been open with the stage. They were having bands on Friday and Saturday every weekend. Now it's just Saturday. And when I go over there, not very many people, not very many people. And so that's how it is. And whether or not it will stay that way, and to what degree, I do not know, my friends. I do not know. Sometimes I don't even know if this world is real. And I'll tell you another thing I was thinking about today. There are people out there that are really into science. And some of those people are into astronomy. Think about if you were a person that was working for NASA. You were a person that owned a telescope. And you study the stars and the constellations and the elements and all kinds of various things like that. And you compare that kind of a mind to somebody like Mooji on YouTube. You can look that up, Mooji. Or someone in a spiritual mentality state of being that has a lot of Pisces vibe, right? Otherworldly vibe. Isn't that an interesting contrast? A science mind. And most of those people don't put anything, a lot of those people, I would say probably most of them, don't put any kind of clout into astrology. They're kind of opposites. One is just totally facts, and the other one is just totally fiction, but not really. Some people think that the astronomy is fiction, that beyond all of this three-dimensionality, there are other dimensions, and that they're wasting their time and a hell of a lot of money trying to go to other planets. How long is that going to take? How much money? There are a lot of poor people. I've often thought this, and I'm sure that a lot of you think this too. I've read a lot of comments saying that NASA is wasting a lot of money trying to go to Mars, Elon, right? But there are people out there that will beg to differ. They say that there's a lot of benefits. Many things have been invented by NASA. Many wonderful inventions that have benefited society, right? And then, anyways, so I was thinking at the same time how much I love Star Trek. As I was scrolling through my iPod and playing some of that music today, I came upon the Star Trek song, and I played it. And when you think about all of those possibilities, if you've ever been a Star Trek fan like me, if you grew up with that, no matter which episodes it was, the original or one of the others, or you've enjoyed the movies, you got this deep feeling of love and gratitude for science fiction or science reality. It's so cool. There's no denying that we've all often thought about the possibility of life on other planets. And so yeah, I really enjoyed listening to na 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 na. La, na, 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 na. And I saw that William Shatner and his daughter, I believe, beat cancer. I can't remember what kind of cancer, but they supposedly beat it with conventional therapies, probably chemo. And he seemed happy about that. Nobody's writing anything in the comments. What happened to Joe? Start goal. Super chat and lift goals are now in the plus menu. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. In the gaps has been lurking around. Lurking. And so let's see, what else have I been pondering on? What have you been pondering on while you were lurking about? Want to see some of my stones? I'll show you a smoky quartz stone that a client gave me before I left Silver City, New Mexico 20 years ago. That is a smoky quartz. And it said, and it's interesting that I picked this up, It's said that smoky quartz helps to remove negativity. And so I think I'll just hold this smoky quartz because I definitely have not been feeling super positive. I'll show you another one. I can't remember what they call this, but it's really cool. It's a quartz, right? Thank you. So this was gifted to me from someone. Yeah, it's a purple quartz. And this is the biggest stone that I have. I'm not a stone person. My massage school owner guy that I'm friends with, that I call once in a while, he knows all the stones. And he always goes to the Tucson Gemstone show every February. They have a huge gemstone thing down there. Here's a pink one that I got at the New Agey store in Asheville. This one is supposed to be good for your heart chakra. That's the color. Pink quartz or something. And you're supposed to take it and put it on your fourth chakra. So I'm holding the smoky quartz and doing the pink quartz stone. Let's see what else I have. This is an interesting blue. I don't know what that one's called. Does anyone know what that one's called? It's one of those kinds of stones like mica that has, it's like you could peel that. Look at that. See that? If you took a screwdriver and you put it under that, you could pop a big shale piece off of there. See how it's like in lines? You can split it off in long pieces, probably, and it's blue. Here's one that's carved, and that's turquoise. It's kind of cool, huh? Heart. And here's a green one. So I can just describe them as the color that they are. I don't have to know what they are. And that's kind of cool, really. I mean, it's nice to know the names. But if you know the color, then you can match that to the chakra. Another pink one, 4th chakra. Pink and green are both supposed to be 4th chakra. These were like little stones that I got in massage school. If you'll wait here for a minute, I'll show you some more stones. Bear in mind that if I show you a bunch of stones, you'll be stoned. This one I didn't make. I didn't paint that one. I just picked it up at the little stone thing. In our town square, one of the churches has a little thing where someone makes stones and they give them out to people. I made this one. That one's made out of natural paints, natural linseed oil paints. Isn't it cool? No, I'm not too into Utah, man. Maybe it's just where I'm at right now. But I'm really not wanting to dwell very much in the past, you know? If anything, the future. And so sun rays, I made that one. Sun rays. They're coming through the clouds. You can't see the sun. They're just blasting through the clouds. And then this one is a sun. They get kind of dusty. That one's nice, huh? Natural paints are so cool. I might have to get them out again here. Little flowers. And this one's not natural paints, but it's still good. Here's another one that I didn't do. Not natural paints. So here's some stones. If anybody knows about what kinds of stones these are, they could write it in the chat box. Joe says, I may have lived my childhood in Moab, but Utah still turns me on. Cool rocks you have there, bro. The latter one with the yellow lines reminds me of the sun's rays. That's what it was, Joe. That's what it's supposed to be. There's a yellow one. This one's supposed to be good for your second chakra, your stomach region. Oh, yeah, that feels better. That one's kind of weird, huh? It looks like a chicken kidney. Yeah, you mix the pigments with flax oil, like they used to, like the Rembrandt and all of the great painters used to do hundreds of years ago. I think you add a little bit of a drying ingredient to it, kind of a white aluminum-y kind of material. I've got it in the box in there. There's a purple one. Ooh. Are you getting stoned yet? I like these blue ones. And I made a necklace out of one of those. I'll show you that right after I show you this one. Thank you, GA-K2. So, when I was in massage school, I wanted to have a hippie-ish necklace made. And I really liked the blue stones. I don't know what kind it is. I think I once knew, but I don't remember. But I really liked these hemp necklaces. And I found somebody at the farmer's market that made them. And so I picked out some beads. And I had him put that stone on the end of it. These are really cool beads. And the clasp is just that and a knot. So you just push it through the thing like that. See if I can put it on. It's kind of a special necklace because it represents, it's kind of like my school thing that I gave to myself for graduation, I guess. Okay. There's one, pink one. That's kind of pretty, huh? This red one's kind of cool. Red and black and blue. One of my favorite necklaces I lost. I'm not sure what happened to it. It was from Africa. And I got it in this little shop in Silver City, New Mexico. But this is my favorite one. Cool, huh? This one is the one that I've had the longest. I bought this in Jackson Hole, Wyoming in like the early 80s when I lived there. And that's bone. All that is like deer antler, I think, or elk, one of those two. This is another hemp one, and I actually know the name of those. That's soapstone. Soapstone. This is really a nice quality weave. And it also has that same kind of a clasp. This one's kind of cool. It's got a shell. I don't really like metal jewelry very much. I like more earthy jewelry. I know metal is of the earth. Just there's something about metal. I really like stone and like, I don't know how to describe it better. I love the colors, that's why. I love colors. This one's pretty cool. I can't remember the name of that one. This one, I think I made this one. Yeah, I made this one. It's got some African beads, and then it's got a yin yang thing. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Cool, huh? And that one has a good clasp. This one's kind of freaky. I just got it at the thrift store for like $1. That was like $1 at the thrift store. This one's turquoise. One of them broke. I'm trying to make it focus. That one's just a cheap import. This one's not very cool. It's just doesn't have very much character, but I guess I bought it anyway. This one would be better for a woman. Longer, you know. That one's just like little wooden beads. Some kind of a little, like a stone bead. Those are like little stones. This one I really like a lot. It's a bracelet. And I can't remember where I got it, but it looks really cool. They're like glass beads. I don't know if I can get that on or not. This one I made, and it's got my Chinese sign on it, the snake. The year of the snake. It's probably handmade. And then I put these black beads on there. That one's just some kind of a mass import, probably from Africa. This one's kind of interesting. I bought it. This girl was selling her necklaces that she made by hand, and it's got a mushroom. That's kind of cool, huh? That mushroom. And I liked all these little square beads. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. There. There we go. Okay, this one was given to me by this really cool woman at the Asheville. There's a little outdoor street market thing at, what's it called? Anyways, she used to sell all this really cool jewelry. And this handmade thing is so freaking cool. It's not even funny. That is badass. I love that thing. And all it's on is just a leather strap, but it's got a cool clasp. And I freaking love this thing. I wear it quite a bit. I used to anyway, you know. I haven't wore much jewelry for a long time. With jewelry, you're trying to impress women or something, or look good, or impress the public, or look nice, or something like that. And I haven't been in that state of being for a long ass time. Haven't really felt like dressing up or doing anything. I go to the store with pajamas on. who knows? Maybe I'm getting more into that kind of a frame of mind. This is actually a really cool little bracelet that I got for $2 or $3 from this little woman. You know those, if you've ever gone across into the Mexican border at San Ysidro in San Diego or in Arizona or New Mexico, there'll be some people selling various goods, you know. And there was this little obese Indian woman sitting there trying to sell jewelry. And that was like $2. Imagine how long she sits and puts beads. Like there's hundreds of beads on that. Hundreds. I probably gave her an extra buck, for God's sake, at least, for that. And it's got the same kind of a ball clasp that goes through the hole. But I like it. I like it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but for $2 or $3. Okay. So that's my show and tell. Oh, last but not least, did I? This one, I didn't show you this one. This one is right up there with the other blue one. My two favorites, I'll show you my two favorites together. This one that I showed you, and this one that I haven't shown you. This one probably actually is my favorite, this last one that I haven't shown you yet. It is cool. It is a cool ass necklace. It's got some awesome looking beads, stones and beads, and a really cool turquoise stone on the bottom. Yeah, that one's my favorite. So this one, this smoky quartz that I showed you first, it has a lot of sentimental value. I had this client in Silver City that was just a really, really good person. His name was Shevik. And he owned a restaurant in Silver City, New Mexico. And he came and got massage from me every week or two for a long time. He was married. He was gay and he was married. And I didn't like his partner all that much. He was okay. But Shevik is a good dude. He's a nice person. And yeah, I missed him when I moved out from away from there. Yeah. That was one of the things that I liked about being a massage therapist. Like I liked a lot of my clients, you know, became friends with them. It's hard work. It's really hard work doing massage. And I'm really glad that I don't do it anymore. Pros and cons, you know. Shevik was from New York. So he was a very interesting person in a small town like Silver City, New Mexico. And Lieutenant Uhura's son lives there still. You may have saw how he and his family are suing the Gila Medical Building Center because of issues when he was taking care of his mom, you know, from Star Trek, Lieutenant Uhura, the black woman. He was taking care of her and he took her to the emergency room at Gila. And they should have, they said, moved her to a bigger facility where they could take care of her in Las Cruces. Thanks, Tamara. So nice of you. I saw this on the news a month or two ago. So they're supposedly, I guess he's supposedly suing Gila Medical Center for like $1 million or something. She was old though, you know. But Shevik, the one that I told you, my friend and client that owned that restaurant in Silver, she went in there sometimes, and that was like his pride thing, you know, that Silver City had some famous people come to it once in a while, like her, and you know, she's who doesn't know Lieutenant Uhura from the original Star Trek, you know. Now, I never saw her, but I saw her son in the co-op regularly, and I always would go, live long and prosper. And he doesn't seem to have much of a sense of humor, or he was just tired of that shit, you know, people walking up to him and doing stuff like that. Indeed. But yeah, he's a professor at the university there. And everyone knows who he is because his mom is so famous. But she was like a really attractive woman, you know, and the first black woman to like, she did a kissing scene with Kirk, with William Shatner. And that was back in those days really taboo. She was the first black woman to do things like that, you know, in front of the public on TV in the late 60s and 66, 5, 6, 7 when Star Trek was first shown. But yeah, she was really beautiful. She had a beautiful complexion, really amazing facial features. So yeah, that was where I kind of, one of the first places I started doing massage, Silver City. And it's got an artsy crowd in it. There's a lot of artists that live in the Mimbres Mountains. And they have some cool things there, but they also have some gang bangers because it's fairly close to the border. So I kind of get the feeling that the police are somewhat controlled by those people. Wouldn't surprise me. I'm picking skin off my heel. I know people are going to exit. They're going to be like, ew. Yeah, so what other interesting things have been going through my life and mind? Do I look more cool with these necklaces on? Show and tell is fun, eh? Remember that when you were a kid? Did you ever bring things to school to show and tell about? I love that kind of stuff in school. That was kind of the stuff that made school fun sometimes, remember? But the longer school went on, the more I got sick of going to it. And the more I wanted to start my life and get the hell out of there. And now I've reached a point of where I don't think there's any more places in the United States that I really want to live that could be any better than this. And the only reason that I don't is because probably because I'm not to the point of where I'm ready to go exploring yet. Okay, I'll tell you another thing that I've been thinking about, and that is retiring. 11 more months, my friends, till I turn 62. That's as early as you can retire in this country. So I already have my I've already paid into Social Security the number of times. I think it's 40 years. I've already filed all of that long enough. I just need to turn 62 now, and I can get like $900 a month. And I know I can't live on $900 a month unless I'm like living in my car. And I probably still can't. And remind me to talk about how I watched this video. I don't know if I should do that though. I watched this video about how homeless people can survive in their cars in Phoenix, Arizona in the middle of summer. I'm not going to talk about that. Oh my God. If you want to watch that, you can watch it yourself. Just look it up on YouTube. It's not something you want to think about very much at all. Anyways, so I'm getting healthier all the time. Oh, thanks, Joe. Thank you. It always looks so much better than it is. 99 pesos, right? 99 pesos? Cool about the son of the black lady, Uhura. What's her name, you guys? Can't remember her name. I'm a member of this group, this Star Trek fan group on YouTube. Anyways, so yeah, I'll just keep working. But think about that, like that pays my rent. Cool, huh? I should be able to save some money and not even have to work as much. So I'm thinking, well, business is deader than a doornail. It's not going to stay this way, right? Tell me it's not going to stay this way, like just dead. Sorry. And I may have to pee in a minute too. But so I'm going to retire and I'm going to have this nice bonus check every month. I used to make 1,500 consistently off my YouTube videos every month. So it's not as good as that, but it's not bad, right? It's not bad. And yeah, I'm seeing a glimmer of hope for my neighbor. I'm thinking up ways to help her to survive. I don't know if she will. We'll see. My little neighbor boy came over and wanted to make up and agree to wear his helmet all the time. Okay, I said, okay, man, come in here. We need to talk about this. There are a lot of different ways, and this is important for all of us to remember. There are a lot of different ways that a person can fall, reasons why a person can fall and hit their heads on the cement. I know this isn't a good subject, it's not fun, but I told him bicycling is one of those ways. And if you fall and you hit yourself on the arm or the shoulder or your butt or your leg, you may injure yourself. But you'll most likely, for sure, be able to survive it, even if you break your arm or something like that. But if you hit your head on the cement and you don't have a helmet on, you might be dead. And I hope that he has taken that to brain and heart. And he has agreed to always wear his helmet from now on. I told him, whenever I go bicycling, and you guys know because you've seen me do bicycling videos, I don't care what they do in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, in Holland. Those people, if they don't want to wear helmets, I don't give up. Okay? Because I am an intelligent person. And in my opinion, people in the Netherlands that ride bicycles and don't wear helmets are stupid as, okay? That's just what I think. And so, anyways, I think it's probably a big ego thing there, you know? Just like the monster trucks here. Like if you wear a helmet, you're not cool in the Netherlands. See, that's one thing that's so cool about being a person that has a lot of 11th house Aquarian energy. We don't give a fuck about what other people think. Nope. Especially when you get to be my age and you also have a lot of Aquarian energy, but no matter how far back you go into my life, that's always how it's been. You're looking at somebody that was never a sheep. Not very much, anyway. Woohoo! Let's drink to that. Not being a sheep. Aquarian does its own thing, baby. Those of you that have much Aquarian vibe, you know what I'm talking about. So that kid, he has a lot of Aquarian. He puts me to shame. And the thing about it is, it can be extremely stubborn because it thinks it knows. And for the most part, it does. Not always. Aquarius, it's a pretty independent sign. And so I knew that when I talked to him, I needed to lay it out in a very simple and black and white, a very understandable, mental, airy mental, air sign, the mind way that this little 6-planet Aquarian can very well understand and not forget. He looked at me and he was like, and he knew, because even at 5, he knows he's felt pain. He knows what pain is all about. He's seen blood before. And I described what could happen if a person falls off their bicycle going 5 or 10 or whatever miles an hour. And he got it. He grasped it quite well. There's only one place for him to ride at this time right now, and that's around these 4 apartments. And so I hear the bicycle. I hear the sound of it going by my window. And soon thereafter, I talked to him and fixed the bicycle. He wasn't wearing his helmet. I said his name. I'm not going to say it on here. And he was like embarrassed because he forgot. But we'll get him remembering every time. And he likes me a lot, and I like him a lot. And so we're going to make that work out, because I will not have it any other way, no matter what his mother says. And she's with me on this now. Even though she is a double Taurus. Okay. Anyone that knows astrology knows that the bull is also stubborn. Stubborn. Those of you that are Taurian, what is that the word? Taurusy. That's it. Taurusy. The bull. It's extremely stubborn. And if you think that you can get it up from its nap or something like that, you can forget it. Anyways, Tamara says, guard your energy. You have a lot of water in your chart and you absorb pain. Yeah, I know when to close my Cancerian shell. Thanks for the nice donation, Tamara. Tamara, she's always like that. People that know what's valuable, they show their gratitude. They understand energy. They make comments that are nice. They make donations that are nice. Whatever they put into, they give back to. That's what I do. I have so many charities that I love and I donate to monthly, regularly. Paws Performing Animal Welfare Society. That's a good one. The gorilla one down in like Louisiana. There's a gorilla sanctuary. I like that one now. I love the Orangutan Project in Borneo. I love that one. I donate to that one every month. Cancers. It's good. We're caregivers. And so, yeah, if you haven't seen my little Sharon posts from the Orangutan Project, if you love animals, you should check those out. Orangutan babies are the cutest, sweetest, funniest things to watch. They play in the mud. And they have these huge hands and they can climb around in the trees. They're like little hairy humans that climb in the trees. They're the cutest freaking things ever. And it's no wonder it's people want to own them, but it's the most horrible thing to do, because those bastards will kill their mothers and steal them and sell them to rich bastards. It's the most horrible thing. They should throw those people and those whatever thieves in jail or execute them, whatever. Serious. That's the saddest thing. And so, yeah, I love donating, and I'm really proud to be a person that donates to charities. And it's a blessing to be a person that loves to give to things they love. And I'm blessed in so many ways. And I'll tell you another thing that I've been thinking about. And I don't want this to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm starting to understand and accept people's mentalities and feelings about relationships a lot more. And what I'm understanding is that there are people that are totally happy with monogamy. And I doubt that they ever think about straying, cheating, whatever you want to call it. There are a lot of people out there that are just perfectly fine with that. And then there are people like me that, like, I could have a relationship where I'm really close to somebody if the agreement was that they were okay with me also meeting more women. And I could be okay with agreeing to not be with them sexually until I conferred with my first partner. I might be okay with that. But the first partner, if I were with her and it were very deep of a relationship, they would have to be really amazing. Okay. And then there are people that are in between. And I'm talking about people that have agreed to be with somebody till death do them part, but they secretly long to be with other people to one degree or another. And they're miserable because of that. They think about it all the time. I'm sure you know this is true, right? You know this. They think about, and they secretly look at other people. They're so bored. They're so tired of their first mate, or maybe they really still love them, but they're still like longing to, there's just something missing in their lives. And that's one of the things. There may be other things that's really missing in their lives, but that's one of the things that they really wish that they could do. And having all of this Aquarian energy that I have, I can definitely feel, and those of you that have that Aquarian vibe, you feel and you know the future. It's of the future. And that's where we're going. We're not going back to a more primitive kind of a relationship. We're moving towards a happier type of mentality and acceptance, etc., 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 and openness, and less of all the negative things like anger and jealousy and possessiveness, blah, 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 blah. and owning someone. The more independent people get, see, I'm super independent. And any woman that thinks that she can rule my world, take my time up away from me, no, because even if I meet somebody, and I probably will, that I really, really like, I'm still going to demand a lot of freedom. I have to have my freedom. Nobody's going to start manipulating my schedule, my time. So, those are the things that I've been thinking about lately. It's really, really slow. Our world is so slow. Right now, I can pretty much say that other than right after the pandemic, considering whatever, this is the slowest time. This is definitely the slowest energetic time ever. This is slower business-wise for me than any time during the pandemic. Probably. I was still getting orders at that time, I think. It's hard to remember. It's been 7 years. 6.5, 7 years. Anyways, thank you all for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you can relate. I hope that you're doing okay. If you want a pillow, you can go to brettsnaturalhealth.com and get one. Here, I'll give you the link. I have a lot of undyes ready to go. And they're sewn on my treadle sewing machine. And that treadle sewing machine sews every bit as good as the electric or better. Super clean, super, super straight stitches. I'm getting really, really good at it. There you go. If you want to buy one. What's that? Engage with my audience. Engage with my audience. Start a poll. Should I start a poll, start a community goal for super chats, start a Q&A, answer questions, viewer questions? Nah. Man, it's so cool that I don't have any trolls. How come there's none of you are trolls making schneid comments in the comment section? Remember, Joe, remember when I used to have some a-hole making a schneid comment about something in the comment section? Haven't had any of that lately. I must be doing something right. Yeah, Joe. Joe, I don't do shipments to Mexico. The only way that I would do a shipment to Mexico, Joe, is maybe UPS, and that would be so expensive. The problem with a lot of those South American and North, Mexico, Hispanic countries is that the people at the post office will steal your package. I've already had friends in Ecuador tell me, you can't send anything here. You cannot send anything to Ecuador. It's probably the same in Mexico. People at the post office will just steal the package. You'd never get it anyway. Joe, are you a Cancer? Oh yeah, Joe's a Cancer. So anyways, so I guess that's all I want to talk about. I could probably think of more things. I have to clean up all of these. I have to clean up all of these things that I shared with you. All these stones have to go back on the windowsill. I hope you enjoyed looking at those. And the more you see the things that I own, the more you know me. You get a feel for my flavor. You block those a-hole. Yes, I do. I block all of those people, those trolls that say stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this gig. It's been 1 hour and 37 minutes and 37 seconds. That's about my usual, isn't it? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for everyone that has donated, commented. Michael Jackson. So thanks, everybody.